Tech Talk here for N&W Productions, and so basically today we're going to be installing a 1 1/8 headset into this frame. This is a GT LTS3 full suspension bike we're going to be using as a gas bike. So we're going to be taking this basic 1 1/8 headset. We're going to be installing it into the frame, and then we're also going to be taking, this is a Manitou Marcor fork, which once we get the headset installed, we're going to be mounting that up into the frame and then locking that in place. So I'm just going to keep it simple, throw a few hacks in for those of you who are the average working man and can't afford expensive tools. So we're going to just unbox this FSA headset real quick. So this is a 34mm headset. There's different sizes. That size is this inside diameter right here of the frame. Basically you can take a pair of calipers and check the inside, see what the size is. Okay, and that's how you determine what size you need. There are different size frames. They do come in larger sizes and smaller sizes if you have a 1-inch headset. Alright, so here's the basic setup here. So you got your top and bottom cups, and this just kind of unscrews here real quick. Alright, get the box out of here. Don't need that anymore. Usually they have these like pre-assembled in the box, so you can kind of just keep everything together. You're not going to use right away. We're not going to use this top cap right away, so we'll just put that aside on the table. The fork I have already has, alright, there's our top section there. Okay, so this piece goes on last. We're going to set that aside. And this basically presses into the frame. Or not the frame, I'm sorry. This presses into the fork. However, I already have one installed in the fork, and you can see. So this is just a plastic piece, part of the package. Alright, so this is what we call the crown race. So this has to be pressed onto the fork. Now, as I said, this piece here I already have pressed into the frame. That's what this piece is here. I use this fork on something else, so I already have one pressed in there. But this, if it wasn't in there, you just basically have to press that into there using some sort of you know, like a piece of metal shaft or something like that, and making sure it's pretty square. Okay, so here's the first little hack. This is the crown race. Okay, so it comes with a little seal. So we're going to take this crown race, and it has to get slid over here. So there's a little bit of, you can see you can't just push it on by hand. So typically what I like to do, and this is one of the hacks, is, so that has to actually, the bottom of this here has to press against the crown of the fork here. Hence the name crown race, because this is called the crown of the fork. So you'll see different measurements on a fork, axle to crown. This is the crown. Okay. This is like a piece of pipe basically. This is aluminum. So this aluminum pipe is what I'm going to use. The inside diameter of this pipe's 1 1/4 inches, so it slides over this fork nice. So I actually use this as a slide hammer. So what I actually do is I'll take this and I'll just give it a couple shots until you could see that that crown race is now down nice and tight against the fork. So you can see that, all right? So now the next hack that I'm going to do is, right now you have your cups, okay, all right, and this is the bearing that goes in the cup. This isn't a sealed bearing setup, this is a ball cage setup. So you have to take this and you have to take this and basically press these cups into the frame. So these cups have to go in, but you want to make sure that these go in square, okay? And again, just like the crown race, they don't just push in, okay? There's a requirement for a press fit. So there's several different ways you can do this. I mean, you can take and you can hammer them in if you don't have, you know, a press or a tool. You can hammer them in with something like this here. You get a piece of wood on one side, tap them in. I don't like to do that. I don't like to beat on anything if I don't have to. So this here is something you could probably get at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a hardware store. This is actually a piece of what they call all thread. Usually you can buy them in like a 1 foot length. This particular one is 1 inch in diameter, and it's a 1 inch with 8 threads per inch. And then you just basically get nuts to go along with it. And I like to use this setup because you can take this, okay, and I just have these like gently pushed in by hand, okay. But what's nice about this setup is, and I made these plastic washers here so that the cups don't get all scratched up by the metal washer. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece of all thread and you're going to get it, you're going to have to play around with getting it adjusted to the correct length. And really this isn't much different than the tool you'd buy from, say, like Park Tools. You know, but you're going to spend probably 75, 80 bucks for something like that. You could probably get this setup, make up this setup here for under $10. So, alright, we're going to take that there. We're going to slide this through here. Oh. We're going to slide this through here. We're going to put our cup in there. Get our bottom cup in there. Slide the washers over top. Okay. And this is nice because this will help to keep the headset cups square as they go in. Okay. And I like to try to position the cup as squarely as I can as I'm pushing it in. Okay, and then you can actually start to just screw those together and get them snug. And then you can just take, you have to get something that's big enough to go over these bolts, or I'm sorry, these nuts, because these are about 1.5 inches, require about 1.5 inches size bolt. And then you can just start to tighten down on these. And as you do this, you want to make sure that the cup's not really going too far out of square with the frame headset section there, the head tube. So you just want to keep working this tight until you look in there and you can see that you have it nice and snug in there and they're nice and square. So if you take a look here now from the side, you can see that the cups are pressed nice and tight against the frame. And then, you know, you got the cup pressed in there nice. And you just loosen this up. Now you can take, this is a seal, it goes around the bottom here, and you got your bottom bearing that goes on there, and you just want to make sure that you put it on there correctly with the section like this with the balls exposed down towards the race. So you put that down there. They don't give you any grease. So you take a little bit of grease and we're just going to put some grease along the bottom side there. On the race. Now we're going to take the top and we're going to actually just kind of give it a little dip in the grease there and just leave it there for now. So we're going to just take and slide this up in here. Like so. Same thing with the bearing here. You want to make sure that the ball side or the open ball side is facing the race. So that's going to go in there. And then top race goes in there. Go. Okay, so we got all this so far. We got the cups pressed in. We got the bearings, the race pressed onto the fork. Everything as far as the headset goes is in there ready to go. So from here on out, it's pretty simple. So basically you just slide these spacers over top of this here, okay? And then you press the headset. Now, if you have any bits of the headset sticking out, then you know, you really kind of want the stem to be sitting roughly, maybe like I'm going to say like an 1/8 inch. I'm going to get one more spacer. And this should get us just up over the line where we want to be. Because when we tighten this top bolt on, or this cap, it's going to actually compress down a little bit. Okay, so everything's in place. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this here and we're going to put this, which this will just screw into that piece that we pressed into the fork. And we're not going to go too nuts tightening this thing down. We're just going to kind of snug it up until you feel that you can still turn this freely and there's no real movement from side to side or back and forth. And still got a little tiny bit of play in there. Alright, so that feels perfect. No movement side to side.
Yeah.
Okay, so now basically all you do from here, maybe give it one more little turn. And then what you do from here is, once you have the wheel on and you want to position the alignment of your handlebars, that's when you tighten these up. I'm just going to snug these for now because we're not to the point where we're going to align the handlebars with the front wheel. So that's pretty much it. You can see you have the headset installed, the fork installed, 1 1/8 threadless setup. Thanks for watching.
Make sure to tune in because we're going to be continuing this next week.
And also, stay tuned because we're going to have some other stuff coming up. We got a climb up there, so we're going to be doing we're going to turn that into a gravel bike. I just recently retired that as my mountain bike. It's been my trusty mountain bike for over 25 years now, and it's time to retire it as a mountain bike. And we're going to turn it into a gravel bike, so that's going to be an upcoming project.
And yeah,
as soon as we finish up the gasoline engine bike here, so take a step back. You got a chance to see we're a little bit further along on our gas bike. Last week we gave you a video on aligning the sprocket here. So we got that sprocket all aligned. I went back and checked it with a dial indicator, and it was about 20 thousandths of an inch within tolerance as far as alignment. So it's within about 20 thousandths of an inch concentricity and side to side alignment. So it's starting to look like a bike. Hopefully we'll have a video for you putting the Holotech 2 crank in, which is I believe they call that like a spline compression setup. So keep tuned, stay tuned in, smash that like button.
And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the flip side.